Hello, and welcome to another edition of Behind the Scenes. Tonight we have Utopia Bagels, Cruiser Mel.
I've been looking so forward to this. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm hungry.
I know. Dinner. Bagels for dinner. It's crazy.
Can't figure out why. What's up? Yeah, there's a lot of them. I'm afraid that it's going to be hard to sleep tonight. But we are honored to have special guest tonight, Scott, the owner of Utopia Bagels in New York, which is a big deal because they're considered the #1 bagel in New York, perhaps in the United States, maybe in the world. I don't know.
They sure look good when I pulled them out of the box earlier today, so I'm ready.
Yes, we have taste testers night, including Carol D'Amico, who gave us this idea. We appreciate it. She pushed and pushed, and it worked. And we have some others, and we have special guest Kasim Sulton, who is a member of the band Utopia, not Utopia Bagels.
Kind of this logo, but
That's
a different O.
A different O. Yeah, I love it. All right, so Scott, we appreciate you being here. How are you, man? Scott from New York. We're doing well.
Good to see you.
We always have to ask when we have Utopia businesses on our shows how you came up with the name.
Well, originally the original name to this store was called Bagel Retreat, and for some reason it just didn't make it to the billboard. This store is on a street called Utopia Parkway, and I think they wanted to go with a one-word name, and they came up using Utopia Bagels.
Ah, now we know. Well, hey, does anybody ever walk in the store and say, "Is this about that Utopia band that I like"?
I can't say that it's mentioned quite a bit, but listen, I'm 59 years old. I love music my whole life, and I was a fan of Todd Rundgren. I was a fan of Utopia. They always made great music, and they were a band that was passionate, and that's, I think, what you could relate to what we do here at Utopia Bagels. We are very passionate. Todd Rundgren and the whole band. I hear that Chaz is going to be on later. It's going to be a pleasure to be able to be on the same broadcast as someone as talented as that.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's get him on.
Really good.
Yeah. So we got Kasim Sulton from Utopia, and here we go. What's up, Kasim in New York?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Mel. Hey, Doug.
Hi.
Hey, pleasure to meet you.
So Mel, I was told to keep you away from my beautiful wife, but I have to introduce you to my beautiful wife. Okay.
Only because I told him you were a looker.
This is Kaz.
He's talking to you, Kaz.
That's my beautiful wife.
Hey.
Hi. What's your name?
How are you?
Hi. What's your name?
What's your name?
Katina.
Hi, Katina. How are you? Scott, you're talking about another person, not me.
I can't hear
He's saying he's talking about another person that we should have kept you away.
We told Scott that you were a looker, Kasim. So that's all.
Hey,
Nice
Scott.
to meet
So
you.
it's very nice meeting you. Scott, you're on Utopia Parkway?
Say this one second.
Are you on Utopia Parkway?
Yes, we are on Utopia Parkway. Yeah, 19th Avenue,
19th.
Utopia Parkway.
Wow. How far off the BQE are you?
So the BQE will run off of the Grand Central, or when you're going past LaGuardia Airport. We're a good 10 to 15 minutes from LaGuardia. We're a stone throw away from the Whitestone Bridge.
Okay, all right. All right. So I tell you what, I haven't had any of the bagels yet, but if I like them, I'm driving out there.
Listen, I already know by tomorrow morning you will have this urge that you never had before.
Okay. Are they boiled? These are boiled, right?
We're gonna get into all that.
We do it the hand way, the old school way of kettle boiled, hand rolled kettle boiled. That's what we do. And
now,
we make over 50,000 bagels a week.
Okay, so the other thing is my mom, who's 91 years old and lives in the house that I grew up in, like a mile and a half from here, from my house. So you sent me a baker's dozen, and I just dropped off 5 at her house.
Okay.
So she's going to have them tomorrow morning for breakfast.
She's going to be a very happy woman.
And she's old school. She was born in Manhattan, raised in Brooklyn.
I was born in Brooklyn myself.
So was I.
There you go. Where?
Coney Island.
Okay. So I was born on East 57th between Foster and Farragut by the Glenwood Projects.
What section of Brooklyn is that?
Canarsie.
Canarsie. I had an aunt who lived in Canarsie. She lived there right by the horse stable. There was a horse stable.
Okay, yes, yeah.
You know where that is?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
my Aunt Irene lived there. It's a very small world, my friend. Yes. Very, very small.
You two need to get a room.
That's right. We're just going to exit. Y'all just take
Well, I'm looking forward for you coming here and really seeing the magic that happens in my store. It's, the store is, my bagels are incredible. And I've been eating my bagels for a good 35 years here. I lived in other neighborhoods and came here when I wasn't an owner and I wasn't part of this place. But still today they make it. We've been here 40 years and we still make it the same way.
That's so great.
Yeah. So you were a customer first.
Oh, absolutely. And I came from other neighborhoods that had bagels. But once I had tasted this bagel, I tell people all the time, the only one fault you're going to have with my bagels is you're not going to like any other bagel. It happens a lot of times.
All right.
Little kids move from our area. Their parents come back and say, what the hell did you put in this bagel? They won't eat the bagel down the block. I have to come back here. It's, it's a great thing. And again, I talked about your band, and what I always felt about your band is your passion. And that's what we have. Before people were talking about New Jersey better or LA or Cal. And the truth of the matter is you need passion. Anybody can make something great as long as you really have that passion. And, and you're going to make something great. That's really what it comes down to. So
it's the passion. And when it comes to bagels, it's the water.
People keep saying, but it's only about that much of it. It's that much of it. I want to take you around. I'll show you some of my rollers and their experience. And again, their passion.
Let's do it. So, hey,
you cannot take away that. It's the passion at every stage of making that bagel. And there's about maybe 15 different stages of really making a good bagel. Water is just, listen, if it was just water, the bagel shop down the block would have as good bagels as mine. Why don't they? So it's not just the water.
There it is. All right, so Cruiser Mail, we probably should have had closed captioning for these New York conversations for some people. I'm trying to, what do you say? Water. All right.
Water, baby.
Water, baby. All right, so let's bring in our guest. Let's bring in our test tasters. And Scott, would you prefer to show us around or do some tasting first?
I think let's get some shots in because I don't know how long my rollers will be here.
Okay.
This is some of the bagels we're preparing again. You want to talk about what time is it? It's 9 o'clock at night, and we're still packing bagels.
Wow!
For one of my accounts that we sell to twice a week. Now these are actually going to be frozen bagels, so we'll take those and we'll bring them into my freezer. And this happens to be, where we'll keep. That's those boxes that we'll ship out to a company called Fresh Direct in New York. We sell frozen bagels. Here is I told Doug before, believe it or not, you're in the presence of a Michael Jordan. This man, and I'm not joking, just watch his hand rhythms, is literally not just the best in New York. In my eyes, there is no better roller in the world.
Wow.
That's why I say you're basically in the presence.
And look how fast he is.
Wow. That's so cool.
This man is capable of rolling 10,000 bagels in a day.
10,000?
I don't know. And it's the truth. This is our mixer. This is where we'll mix our doughs in. We'll mix 200 pounds of flour. My flour here, look at how much flour we'll have on the sides.
Whoa.
So all kinds of flour. I could take into my fridges, but I don't know if we're going to fade out enough. But let's see if we can. So those are racks of bagels in there. You see all those bagels?
Holy
Now,
cow.
when you talk about a good bagel needs refrigeration for 24 hours. Most stores don't have that ability to keep them stored for 24 hours.
So wait a second, Scott. You have to refrigerate the bagels after they're cooked?
No. After they're rolled, like that guy's rolling,
Oh, okay. So then you refrigerate.
then they got to
the dough.
sit out, not just refrigerate. They got to be proof.
Right.
So
You got to proof the dough.
We'll proof the dough after it's rolled. It's proofed
Right.
before it's rolled. It's
Uh-huh.
proofed after it's rolled. Those are the major keys.
Right.
The people and the ability of understanding when it should be put away has so much more to do than the water than you understand. That is big keys. Here is the kettle where we'll boil the water. We're actually putting in egg bagels right now into the oven. So we're still baking egg bagels.
Wow.
One order that has to go out tonight. This is more the front of the store. We'll put all the bagels in the bins, but we're closed now, so we're actually cleaning it. Say hello, girls. You're on a radio talk show on YouTube.
Hey, where are those egg bagels going to tonight that you're making?
Again, those we're making, and we're going to freeze them for fresh direct because an order's got to go out tonight at 1:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So this is the front of the store. You'd walk in. This is where I used to have tables in here because of the pandemic. We took out all the tables, and I wanted to make a lot more room to make people more comfortable spreading out. So we actually put a real state-of-the-art outdoor seating, not just tents, but a real outdoor seating. You see?
Nice.
Steel enforced, really good seating outside and comfortable. Windows open. And that's what was a key to, I feel, to this pandemic keep going. You had to make people feel comfortable coming into your store and give them and provide enough room for them. Yeah. This is our fridge. Check out all the sodas we have in Utopia. I really, when you talk about Utopia, the word, this bagel store is a true utopia for people. You can basically get any kind of soda you want, you can think of.
Okay, I really need to come and try some of those.
All kinds of stuff. Our bakery is literally world class. Look at that bakery.
Nice.
Man, you need to be on Food Network with this or
Yeah,
something.
what time do you open tomorrow? I'll be outside.
You see that? Look at this bakery we have. And we make everything here. Chips. We do all kinds of cold cuts and spreads.
Wow.
The cream cheese, of course.
Our fishes, sturgeon and salmon and sable, whitefish. Again, I come from Brooklyn. I know it's about food, and especially the bagel and the food. And we have really pumped it up here and made this place, what people are looking for when it comes to eating a bagel and their choices. So right now, let me show you this. They're being put in on these metal boards that are with burlap. And they go around the oven once, and then they flip them. Watch, he's going to flip them. Take the boards out, flip them.
Ah.
Oh, cool.
So now both sides are able to cook, because if we took them out of the kettle and they were wet, you put them on the slate, they would stick. So that's why you have to put them on boards and turn them over.
Hey, Tarek.
And that's how you season the bagel also, by putting seasonings on those boards.
So the seasoning's actually baked in or baked onto the
Baked onto. So we're also one of the only stores that use seasonings on both sides if you notice that some of your bagels, if you've got seasonings on them, they appear on both sides because we use both sides of the bagel.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Santa Barbara.
So how many do you sell there? But I mean, compared to shipping, is it even, or is there a ton more people that come in?
He needs to go out.
You know, on any given day, we could sell in the store up to 8,000 bagels in a day, 9,000 bagels to the retail customers. So during the week, we'll probably sell anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 bagels retailing. Going out shipping every day, we'll probably ship out maybe 2,000 bagels
Wow.
a day. I'm throwing numbers at you that you can't even understand.
Yeah.
And then we do again with Fresh Direct. We'll do up to 20, sometimes 30, sometimes 40,000 bagels a week to them.
Wow.
What I showed you at the beginning, what they're packing up. You know, a combination of everything, it basically averages out to almost 10,000 bagels a day.
Wow.
That is a lot.
There's no store or bagel place here in New York that does anything like this. There are a few, don't get me wrong, but not with the quality we do.
Well, when do you get to sleep?
When do I sleep, honey?
Never.
I was gonna say.
Hey, Scott, when I opened the box of bagels today, thank you again. You had them wrapped. The bagels were wrapped in like a paper bag, and then the paper bag was inside a sleeve. Tell us about storage of bagels or free.
Okay, so you know, most people will come into my store, and if they're shipping them and saying, they'll always ask, "Can I get freezer bags? Can I get freezer bags?" And people tend to put bagels that they're carrying to other states or even overnight, and they tend to believe putting it in a plastic bag is the best way. And it really is not, because, again, Chaz talked about water. There's a lot of water in bagels. So when you put them inside a plastic bag, what do you think the outcome is going to be with the water? It's going to release from the bagel. It's going to hit the plastic and get on that nice, crispy, crunchy outside. So what I do is I put it inside a paper bag, which does absorb that little water that comes out of the bagel during shipping, and then cover it with the plastic that keeps that freshness in. I like the bags open, and I've been tending with the pandemic to just close them anyway because I've been getting a lot of calls, but I know they're fresher this way, so I continue just kind of closing them and leaving that little bit of air, letting them come in to keep the freshness. People don't understand that, and they think it's the opposite, but that is why.
Ah.
Now, overnight, that works. Down the road, like if you guys aren't going to eat all your bagels, my best suggestion is to either slice them, put them in Ziploc bags, and freeze them. Then if they are very fresh, once you freeze them, you can literally take them out, and in a half hour, you're going to have a fresh bagel. You could also put them in the oven out of the freezer, and they'll come out nice and hot, like if it's a fresh bagel. Or if you slice them before you put them in the bag, then you can just toast them, and they're incredible.
Awesome.
Great.
All right, well, you're making me hungry.
Well, I think it's about time you taste one of them.
Well, let's try it. So everybody's got pumpernickel and plain. So I guess we probably should start with the plain, since that's kind of
Now I see a bunch of people on the side of this camera.
Let's bring them all in. Sure.
Who is everybody?
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what. There we go. All right. We got everybody in here.
Kasim,
okay, so
the screen.
Where did Kasim go?
Good and plain.
He's probably toasting his.
I'm heating my bagels
He
up.
went to get his bagel.
It's like
He knows
Hollywood
how to make-
Squares.
He knows how to
Monica
make a
Center
bagel.
Square.
He lives in Staten Island, for God's sake.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Lizzie, who is from San Francisco but now lives in New York.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Oh God.
Yeah.
Should have just stuck with what I said. Next up, we
Might as well
have
be New York.
Veronica, who lives in Florida.
Hi.
We have Tom, who lives in New York near Buffalo, who's a bagel maker. Not as good as yours. We have Carol and John from California, Orange County. We have PJ, also from New York, sometimes New Jersey. And I think that's a wrap. We had a couple people that did not get their bagels, and one in California, I think, was it, maybe. So we did good. We did real good.
Marcy's Arizona, I think.
Marcy's Arizona. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
he's in Arizona. That's for sure.
So we ordered them, just so people that are watching the show know, you can get them on goldbelly.com and they'll ship them overnight for you. And usually it's, you'll get them, but sometimes always, as you know, there's problems with shipping, especially these days. But anyway, everybody's good.
If anybody is also in the area of New York and they work with a company called Fresh Direct, they also sell my bagels frozen.
I've heard of
We
them.
like them fresh.
Oh, believe it or not, we freeze them fresh, and I was showing you before. So once they hit the door, they're just like a fresh bagel. I tell people they're not a lettuce bagel frozen. Trust me.
All right. Well, you sent
Can I
these
ask a
fresh.
question or no?
Let's try a bagel first. Let's try a plain.
Okay.
Everybody ready?
Should we try it without any kind of spread first? or-
I think you should take a bite of it and just see what you feel. What you like.
Okay.
I also got your bacon cream cheese, and I definitely want to.
Oh, you're.
Are we tasting the plain?
Yeah.
Yes. It's very good.
Mm-hmm. It still has a crispy outside and the gooey middle. It's delicious.
Really is.
I'm going to decorate mine up with some Nutella. My second bite. That's really good.
See, you guys are talking too much about my bagel. I got to have a bite of my bagel.
Yeah, you better.
I got to join you.
Yeah,
How many bagels you eat a day? Scott, how many
Well,
bagels do you
lately
eat?
I haven't been eating too many. I've been trying to watch my weight, and I'll at least have a mini or something once a day. I can't, especially when I bake. I tend to eat the ones that kind of are a little malfunctioning looking, and maybe they're not perfect enough for me to put out in front. And sometimes the ones that are shaped improperly, they just crisp up at the end so perfectly that I love getting those pieces.
Scott, can I ask a question? This is really good. How do you make it?
What is it?
Well,
It's bacon cream cheese.
Yeah.
Chunky bacon.
Listen, one thing I'm real proud of is how we do our spreads. And again, my first thing about anything is quality. And we only use big bars of Philadelphia cream cheese. Philadelphia cream cheese is by far the best cream cheese in the industry. It's not even close. And yeah, there you go, girl. It's just it's a better quality product.
But Tempty's pretty good too.
Tempty, Tempty in the small little jars is an excellent, but you can't get Tempty in large portions.
That's
you don't,
true.
It doesn't.
I can hardly ever get it here in Florida. Once in a while.
What you can't get it in the industry, they don't make it. So a lot of people that you buy cream cheese or people that have places use a company called James Table. It's literally half the price. So a lot of people, again, people are in business. You got to make money. It's tough making money, getting high quality stuff. But me, I'm not afraid to charge the right amount and give the people quality. Now, my products in my cream cheese, again, are the finest. I take quality bacon. I don't use bacon bits. I don't use substitute bacon light. We cook our bacon. I sell probably 250 bacon, egg, and cheeses a day. So we literally are making bacon or cooking it on the grill 4 to 5 hours a day. That's how much we use bacon. So again, that cream cheese you have comes from nicely cooked bacon on the grill, hand put and mixed in your spread, and that's why it tastes the way it does.
Awesome.
That is a good bagel.
It is, right?
So I get it, Chaz. You're coming here.
I am.
All right, so I'm going to get you on my wall of fame. I love it.
All right.
So
let's bring some to
Plain and
Annapolis.
it's to die for. Yeah.
Veronica, you had a question? Did you have a
do.
question?
with a mouthful of bagel. I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you, with COVID and everything this past year, has it like grown your business enormously because of it, or do you still have other people that are doing, what you're doing, the shipping instead of the?
Well, listen,
Because all of the closings.
it's been very challenging. I have to say that. One thing again, people look at the COVID and if you're open for business, you're at the beginning you were under scrutiny of being watched every single second, every single inch of what you were doing. So working under that atmosphere was very difficult. The other thing is, most of your workers really were scared to come to work. I knew early on that I had to be here every single day. And I had to show my workers and I had to show the community because we truly are a community store. Our community depends on me opening every day. There's people that come here every single day of their life for their coffee and their bagel in the morning.
Oh, yeah, you gotta have it.
I almost feel like I had a responsibility to those people. And then again, I have 4 children. So I know what it's like is, having children and them being able to get that simple thing in life to make this life feel normal. And listen, we all have not been normal for a year and a half. I don't care who you are, what you are, if you're making money or you're not making, if you're getting unemployment or you're working or your loved ones have passed away. We're all not normal this last year and a half.
Yeah, it's not been. So let's get some feedback. Tom Jennings, the bagel maker. What do you think about the this bagel?
Not my dog.
It's mine.
Talking about the
fantastic.
pandemic
really
also, and understanding, what it did to my business. Again, it took a lot of work, but my store is stronger. Again, it's been stronger for several reasons. With the internet work, the nationwide work, which we put to play, and my big following of my frozen bagels with Fresh Direct. But the store today is actually at a stable ground of before the COVID and now after, because of what I showed you guys earlier, clearing out room, making people feel more comfortable. I've actually hired more people during COVID than ever before because I knew that people needed to be in and out of here quicker and service faster also.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I hope that answered your question about the COVID.
Yep. So Tom, what did you think about the bagel?
It's really fantastic. I just to let you know, Scott, I actually started a bagel business over COVID out here. I do like 600 bagels on a weekend, so I got to catch up to you a little bit. But I will say that I have the distinction of being able to make 300 bagels during a Todd Rundgren concert that Kasim Sulton was a part of, and I personally delivered Kasim his bagels as well. So, but can I ask you just a quick kind of pseudo technical question?
Sure.
Do you use honey for the sweetener, or do you use brown sugar? I mean, I use a little bit of clover honey and a little bit of brown sugar. So I'm tasting a really nice sweetness. And
yeah, so again, I tell people this all the time. I can give you my formula. It's not going to make you make my bagel, but we don't. Again, there's so many stages in making a good bagel and understanding temperature in the air. The hotness of the water, the coldness of the bagel coming out of the fridge. All these things matter. How long it should stay in the kettle, how long it should get out. There's every little thing matters. But the thing you're talking about most, we don't use any honey. A lot of people put honey in the water as they're boiling. They don't put it in the bagel. Most people, because price, use brown sugar, and also because the rollers tend to like to use brown sugar. It's easier to roll. Well, again, we do things the old school way. We use liquid malt, a much more expensive product, and a much more harder product to roll. But the outcome is what you taste in time.
Yeah, I throw in a little bit of
bagel.
malt powder to get that malt
Yes,
taste.
malt
So,
powder and malt.
yeah, the malt. Yeah, definitely a different taste. I mean, you could taste the barley malt syrup in here. I mean, it's amazing.
You know, listen, if you're an older person and you used to go to the malt shop, you got a malted. You taste the difference of what milkshakes are today and what a malt, what a shake was back then because they used malt. Again, today with the cost of things and just the price of supplies, and it's tough to make money. And if you don't have the volume like I do, and the capacity and the freezer space and fridge space I do, you can't do it what I'm doing.
I'm tasting a little salt in the plain bagel too.
We use salt. That's probably my most unhealthy thing that is from a bagel. Bagels have incredible amount of sodium. A lot of people come into my store at times and they go, "Oh, well, how many carbs and how much salt?" And I straight up say to them, "Listen, are you asking me this question because your doctor says so? If that's the case, I don't want to sell you my bagel. I'd rather you live. I don't want them." And this, believe it or not, gets asked me all the time because people continually want to eat the bagel, but when it comes to carbs and sodium, if you're not supposed to have that in your diet, a bagel is not what you should be having. Now, if you want to scoop it out, you're going to get a lot less of what we're talking about in there. That'll take care of it.
So your slogan should be bagels to die for.
That's right.
Or bagels to die too.
That's
So,
funny.
Carol, our bagel guru over there in California, what did you think about the bagel?
It was so incredibly fresh, and we just started with the plain. So like no flavor, just the plain. It was just so good. I didn't think I would be able to eat the whole thing because I know we're going to keep tasting, but we finished it. It's gone.
So,
And I'm dying to get to the next one.
well, so Carol, before we go into the Pumpernickel, which will be our next one, Scott has some good news for you about what he's doing at his store next.
Oh, okay.
Pony up, Scott.
Say this.
Remember what we talked about? The vegan stuff.
Yes.
Ooh.
So
Oh my God.
now, again, this is Rafi the roller. Okay. Now I call him the Machin. The Machin.
Michael Jordan.
Good night. There you go. Good night, Rafi.
Good night, Rafi.
Yeah, we're actually been looking at a lot of different food options, and right now I believe the vegan and the food is very popular and very alive. People are changing to vegan, and again, my bagel is vegan. So we're about to open up a whole vegan menu here, not just bagels and spreads, because we also do a tremendous line of tofu stuff.
Oh my
which
God.
again fits into we do a calamala olive tofu cream cheese. I do a blueberry. I do a strawberry, a vegetable, a scallion. We do all these vegan options with tofu. But
Wow.
I wanted to get people to be able to buy sandwiches because we have a tremendous sandwich board. When you had our menu board behind you, Doug, you see we have about 30, 40 different sandwiches. So I wanted to introduce some more vegan stuff. We do a grilled veggie wrap, vegan. We do a salad wrap, vegan. But I wanted to introduce more stuff like chicken tasting stuff, meat tasting stuff, egg options, bacon options, sausage options. So we're about to embark on opening that up on a real menu board. My son, he's the one that really does the Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And it's been out there, and we've gotten tremendous response to not even having a menu that we can't even keep up with, the amount of eggs I need for it and everything else. So it's it's another, good sign that we're touching people and getting to what people want.
That's really exciting. That's really exciting about the vegan stuff. I wish I lived there. I'd be in your store.
Yeah,
every
we're
day.
doing
Billy.
a breakfast burrito that kind of shows off a chorizo type of what is it with the Q? It's a quinoa seasoned with taco seasoning, and it kind of brings like a Mexican sausage taste to the burrito. We're doing a Philly cheesesteak that I take a plant-based burger and slice it thin, frozen, peppers and onions and plant-based cheese.
No way.
So we're doing that. We have a sandwich I named after my daughter, her name is Alexandria, and she's into her vegans more times than not. And it's a grilled chicken-based type of plant-based thing that we use with lettuce, tomato, and we're doing like a balsamic vinaigrette with it. So we're very excited about this stuff.
I need to eat that right now.
No, we're doing
we're going to this
we
next.
have on our menu board, we have a thing called the Cowboy, which is a crispy chicken with bacon, American cheese, melt, and barbecue sauce. So I changed it around and I called it a cowgirl, and it's all plant-based bacon, fried chicken, and cheese.
Right on.
So it's
That's excellent.
I know it's going to go very well.
Cool. I love it.
Yeah, I've been
PJ,
a
you had
vegetarian
something?
since '87, so that's good news here.
Excellent. PJ. All right. So Pumpernickel is this brown one,
That's
right?
the next one. It's a more browner or blacker looking bagel, and again,
huge.
there's a thing in there called the caramel coloring, and that's what gives it that. And also, of course, the pumpernickel flour itself. Any of these bagels do have regular wheat flour in it, but again, we have a particular salad that we sell that I love that goes with that bagel, and we call it a country chicken salad. So it's a chicken salad that has cranberries and walnuts. So that taste on that particular bagel, it's a very hearty tasting bagel that when you taste it.
It's delicious. Oh
And
my
the
God.
finish of it
Great
is
for a
just
sandwich.
fantastic. Yeah,
This will make a great
incredible
sandwich.
A great turkey or a ham on there is just incredible.
Scott, is there a rye seed in this pumpernickel?
The pumpernickel is we use a caraway seed, not a rye.
I was gonna say that. I
Rye
tasted
seed
that, yeah.
is the caraway.
Uh-huh.
gosh,
Really good.
I am in
Really,
love.
really good pumpernickel.
Pumpernickel makes a good ribbon also. If you slice it real thin
Yes,
and
it would
grill
make
it
a
like a
great
ribbon.
ribbon. But
This
I
is
would
fantastic.
I would rather have that on my rye bagel. We make
On the rye, yeah,
yeah.
that's definitely traditional, but
That's what
good
this
on the
reminds me
pumpkin.
of.
Yeah, but it will be great because again, in that mixture, we are using the caraway seed that's topped on a rye bagel, so that flavor is there.
This is outstanding.
Oh, it is.
Okay, so for our watchers out there, we appreciate you. We have people got to pick what else they wanted, so we're gonna mix it up with some other funky flavors and some regular flavors. But we all did the pumpernickel and the plain.
Well,
so
you've
that
been
is
doing
fun.
some hearty flavoring.
Mhm.
Why don't you go sweet? If anybody has
Okay.
like a cinnamon raisin or
Me,
a French
I do.
toast,
I've got
or if
sin
they
rays.
have, I put in a couple of people the blueberry strawberry pancake.
Who has
these are
the-
all those are all sweeter stuff opposed to
Who has the cinnamon raisin?
I do.
I think this.
Veronica.
Is this
now,
Blueberry?
Joe Torre said the cinnamon raisin bagel was the best cinnamon raisin bagel he ever tasted in his life.
It is the best, and it was always been my favorite when I was a teen growing up in New York City, in Riverdale. But this is just so good because it's not like overly sweet or overly dense. It's just really, really tasty and good with the cream cheese on it.
Yeah.
Who else has one?
a good friend of mine is Action Bronson, and his favorite thing here is having a cinnamon raisin bagel with jalapeno cream cheese. So he mixes up that hot and sweet.
Oh, that sounds strange, but
Tom, what do you think? Is that a cinnamon raisin there?
Yeah, it's really good.
No, this is.
I think there's moments
This is a
left.
blueberry.
It's going to be a cinnamon raisin in Tom's hand.
Oh,
Is that cinnamon raisin or
are
blueberry?
you?
Talk.
This is blueberry. Are these real blueberries, or are you using
Dude,
the?
you're not getting. You're cheating. Boo.
Are these like those blueberry gumbits or something, or are they real blueberries?
Yeah, blueberry bits. We use the blueberry
Tom,
bits.
we're talking about cinnamon raisin bagels
Yeah,
now.
man,
Come
what's wrong with
on.
He's jumping the gun.
Got ADD or something.
I couldn't find the cinnamon raisin.
Well, no,
This to me is the hardest bagel to make. The blueberry
really
to
good,
make
though.
it good.
so let's
This is
try
really
blueberry.
amazing.
Whoever's got one, because I got one. Let's do blueberry.
Okay.
Oh my God, these are incredible.
Who else has it?
These are absolutely
Carol?
incredible.
I'm
I
still,
have a blueberry.
still stuck on the pumpernickel. I'm sorry. I'm just in love.
Yeah, the
So is
pumpernickel.
John. He's still eating the pumpernickel.
I don't like it.
What? Do you
I
have
don't mean
blueberry,
I don't.
Veronica?
I don't mean I don't like the pumpernickel bagel. I just don't like pumpernickel. But that's just me. I'm sorry.
All right,
That's
so,
fine.
That's
So,
okay, Veronica. I hate cinnamon raisin bagels, so we're even.
Okay.
so who has blueberry? Who has blueberry?
Me. This blueberry is unbelievable.
So Tom and
It
Carol
is
and me.
unbelievable, isn't it? It's absolutely unbelievable.
If anybody has any like flavored cream cheese on a blueberry, they're incredible. Or even butter, toasted up with butter is
Butter.
incredible taste on the blueberry.
Yeah.
Scott,
My
is there
dogs want my bagel.
is there anything that is sort of taboo to put on a bagel?
Oh, I mean, listen, you know, the true thing to any sandwich is the bread. So I don't think there could be anything. I think you could. You want to hear something like people doubted me, but I try to make an ice cream sandwich from the bagel. So, you know, when you talk about weird things on bagels or something taboo, but I thought it was great taking a salt bagel and putting chocolate ice cream. So you have that salt and the chocolate taste.
Caramel.
Sweet and savory.
Caramel ice cream works great on the French toast bagel.
Yummy.
Wow.
So
Let's
there's
do
a
that
lot of
next.
stuff.
Yeah.
Who all has French
What
toast?
is it with these designer bagels? That's bullshit.
Chad, it's all my late night smoking. That's what it comes
Bullshit.
from.
No.
The bagel,
Come on.
the bagel is either
Gasm.
plain,
Come on, man.
salt, everything, pumpernickel. That's
Oh,
it.
listen, you gotta have something for the gram. You have to have something for the gram.
What's
And-
All right, so who's got French toast?
I do.
You know, we
Who
make a pina colada
I don't know if I
bagel. I don't know if anybody ordered it or not, but we use fresh coconut on top of my pina colada bagel.
Oh no.
Wow.
what's
I didn't know every bagels for a reason.
What's that?
I have a question about the I think it's Asiago.
Yeah, if there's cheese, white cheese, it's Asiago.
So is there's a green onion or a jalapeno?
No, it's parsley. It's actually dry. We use dried parsley inside the bagel of the Asiago.
Okay.
Doug.
And when it's cooked, it tends to be a sweeter taste when you cook parsley. So in the bagel, when you're softening in the water and it toasts in the oven, it appears to be that oniony taste, and it goes great with that Asiago cheese that we melt
Yeah,
on
it's
top.
good.
Again, I don't use just regular Asiago cheese. I use aged Asiago on top of that.
It's good cheese.
Doug, did you make the French toast one?
I did. I put maple syrup on it. It's delicious.
Oh yeah, people just do that. Yeah,
I
Yeah,
toasted it.
that's a great idea. I'm going to take a bite
That's what
now.
I was thinking. Yeah.
Scott said to toast it, so I did.
Yeah,
Toasted
you
French
toast it
toast.
like I said.
What
Put
the heck
butter
is
and
this?
jelly. Oh my goodness,
Incredible.
That's a
That's
red
a
velvet,
red velvet.
Tom. That's the red velvet, Tom.
I have
Oh,
red
that's the
velvet,
red
too.
velvet.
Yeah.
It's
Tom, you're running
pretty.
the show, man.
Wow, that's nice.
Getting
How
ahead
do
of
you?
yourself.
How the heck do you get the food coloring on?
Well, you know that is two different.
Sorry,
dough
I'm
bases. So you
excited
take-
about this stuff.
But
Okay.
the red velvet comes. We take cupcake mix of a red velvet cupcake and mix it in with the dough. That's how we get the
Nice.
red velvet color and the red velvet taste. It's very subtle. It's not an overly powering sweet bagel. Again, when you toast those bagels, the flavors will come out a little bit more, but they go tremendously well with sweet flavored cream cheese.
Yeah, or ice cream, vanilla ice cream or
There
something.
you go, an ice cream. That'll make a great ice cream sandwich of red velvet.
So, Carol, you doing the
French
French toast?
vanilla with a raspberry syrup on top. Now you're really talking some good stuff. Maybe put a little bit of like toasted coconut with it too, and now you really got a great dessert bagel, like you said.
This is the French. This is the French
I'm
toast
gonna give
bagel.
that one a try while everyone else is eating something else.
We
There
put
you
butter
go,
on
Tom.
it.
There's one for your store. Introduced
Oh
during
my
the
God.
summer.
And we're gonna do that.
An ice cream sandwich.
And we're
Not
dipping
bad.
it in Aunt Jemima.
Aunt Jemima. There you go.
With the French toast.
Yeah.
All right, well, you got
Cassim,
Wow.
we're going to bring bagels
Oh
to
my God.
Annapolis this weekend.
No, I've had enough bagels. The next bagel I have, I'm going to have it
I
at Scott's
figured you
store.
did.
Me and Susie are going to go to Scott's store.
Yeah, right. To where?
To Scott's shop. To use
Yes.
the bagels.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So,
But thank you anyway, Veronica.
I wasn't really serious. You know
Oh,
that.
all right, so, Scott, what is the? I can't remember the name. The one that starts with a B. That's
That's a
smaller-
Bialy.
Bialy. Chasm ordered one of those. So let's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those.
Bialy.
Chasm,
Yeah.
where'd you go?
What is a bialy?
I got my
Okay,
Bialy.
so a Bialy is something that actually doesn't go in the hot water or the kettle or the boiling water. They are made with soy oil, which a bagel does not have in it. And that's the main difference between them. They also have less yeast. They have less salt.
It's
They
less
have
dough.
less malt. But when people ask me, well, what is a bialy? I always tell them it's the mixture of an English muffin and a bagel. That's basically what you're going to have when you taste them. Their skins are much softer and not as crispy as a bagel. But if you toast them, they will come out crunchy, and they'll have all those nooks and crannies just like an English muffin has.
It's
So
also-
that's how they're kind of an English muffin and a bagel together.
It's kind of not as filling as a whole bagel.
No,
either.
you tend to think you can eat more of them, and that's what ends up happening. But again, we make those every single day fresh. It's an incredible process to watch because they're made from a big dough. Then they're made little doughs, and you got to round them out, and then they got to proof. And you got to open them up the way my guys do it, and then we put raw minced onions in them, and it's a really beautiful, incredible process. We use a machine that's like 50 years old to make the dough become their sizes, and it's almost like you're using something from ancient times at times.
Scott, I have a question for you. So, where did the bagel first originate?
A lot of people say Poland or somewhere, Middle Eastern, Eastern Jewish village or something like that. I've never really researched it that far to come up with a correct answer because I'm more interested in what we produce today. Not that I wouldn't mind having my roots, but I really want to carry on the way it's being made like it used to make. That's what's more important.
I think it was probably popularized in the early 20th century in New York. It's like everybody was eating bagels.
Yeah, I truly believe I've read somewhere it was in Europe somewhere, but I can't tell you 100%.
All right, so let's.
That's a good bialy.
It is really good. I like it. I've never had one. I think it's fantastic. Carol, so let's get you to try the red velvet that you wanted so bad.
Yeah, this one. Okay.
Yeah,
You have one, Doug?
I do.
Okay. I could see how fresh this is on the end. It's so like it's so, if you can see this, it's so moist. It's incredible. It is very subtle. It's not sweet. Can't really taste the red velvet, but you can a little bit. It's like very subtle. Delicious.
Subtle. It's a subtle. Again, I don't like overpowering them with the sweeteners.
Right.
It also won't stay together in the dough mix to oversweeten it. And like I said, when those bagels end up in a toaster or something, those sweeter flavors come out a little bit.
Oh, great. Okay. Excellent.
What do you think about it, John? As you just put some in your mouth, great.
And
I decided to try to dip it into the leftover
syrup.
He's
a toaster too. He likes to toast all his bagels, so I could eat them anyway. Toasted, untoasted, doesn't matter.
Okay, so
I look forward to toasting this and getting, the more aroma.
good deal. All right, I'm glad you liked it. Okay, so let's bring in this one I'm really interested in, and I'll probably order tomorrow, depending on how it goes with our tasters. I know Lizzie's got one. PJ, raise your hand if you've got one. Prosciutto. Anybody else have prosciutto?
Oh, now you got to get out some macaroni and some sauce, man.
This I want to see.
You're really going to get down and dirty with my prosciutto bagel. I need a pasta dish there.
I'm all about bagels that aren't vegetarian.
Well, that'll throw the vegetarian.
Let me see what it looks like.
Okay, so there's like chunks of prosciutto in it.
Yeah, again, I don't spare the expense of that one. We again use really good, quality meat, and
It's
cut
like a
it.
sandwich, but it's baked in there,
Yeah, you put a melted cheese on there is tremendous. It's great for a sandwich. You put a little chipotle mayo too, brings out a lot of the good taste of that bagel.
Mel, you got one too, right?
I did, but I didn't. I only prepared 3 bagels for tonight. So.
That's it. She's cut her limit. She needs to say
No.
He's saving it for breakfast tomorrow.
I do not have a limit when it comes to bagels. No, I'm an addict. I really am. So, but I will probably try the prosciutto tomorrow because I'm just intrigued by it. I just can't wait.
Yeah, I'm all savory bagels. Like I wasn't the sweet ones. Not my jam. So I went all savory. I got garlic too. I actually ate one of the garlic ones earlier. I had 3 of these before. Doug's mad at me. So I got the box. And the box was in my car with me. I was driving for like 6 hours today.
Yeah, people can't handle that smell. It gets
the garlic one. The garlic smell. I couldn't. I had to eat one. So
PJ, did you get something different?
I got an everything. I got a bunch of everything bagels.
Yeah, those are incredible.
Let's try that.
I got that. That's my favorite. Usually,
I think everybody's got one of those, right?
I could join you in that one.
Who else has one?
I have
Raise
an
your
everything.
hand.
I love everything.
Veronica, you have one? Veronica, Carol, Tom's got
See,
one.
we were on a if you guys want to see a little bit more action of our store,
Sure.
if you go on our website and you go to the press, we were on a couple of big YouTube shows. And one of them was a show called Worth It. So Worth It is a show where these 3 individual guys, one is the camera director, and then there's 2 guys that interview, and they go to 3 different places in price point. So my show we did was the $1 bagel versus the $1,000 bagel. And we were supposed to only have a plain bagel. And I ended up bringing out what we call now the Worth It sandwich. We do on an everything bagel, cream cheese, lox, or Novum, what most people call it, tomatoes, red onions, and capers. And it's it's my biggest selling sandwich here. So we were on the show, and there's been already 15 million viewers of this show.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So it's a tremendous.
We'll be about 14,950,000 short of that, but that's cool.
You know what I really
No,
like
50,000 short.
about your everything bagel is, I mean, you hit all the notes, the sweet a little bit, but mostly savory, and with all the little seeds and stuff. But you don't. There's this place near my house, and I it's the only place that I will not get an everything bagel because it's just loaded far too much with
Everything.
poppy seeds.
Poppy.
Poppy seeds mostly,
Yeah.
but they
And
put
it
too much
overpowers it.
everything. Yeah.
A
Okay,
lot
so-
of stores either do that too much or they put too much sesame seed in it. My mix on the everything is, again, a tremendous mix. It's just
That's
perfect.
good.
That's a very nice
Perfect amount.
bagel. It's a very
It's
nice
really-
bagel.
It's really pretty.
So who got the jalapeno cheddar? Anybody?
Whoa, now you're talking.
I got
Somebody
one,
get
but
that?
That to me is a sandwich bagel.
Well,
I got one, but like Mel, I didn't prepare it for tonight's proceedings.
Oh, make sure you make a sandwich
Sorry.
with that one.
mm,
A nice
Yeah.
ham sandwich or a turkey. It's a tremendous bagel. And that bagel happens to stay fresh very long. You know, the next day they're so super soft.
Yeah,
There's
that's
something about that bagel lasts very long.
really all these bagels. That's one of the best things about these bagels is that the texture is really just perfect. The outside is just the right amount of crispness and tender inside. It's really nicely done.
That truly comes from the proper refrigeration.
Oh.
The outside skin really is what happens when you ferment your dough correctly.
Is
So
there,
who-
when you were talking earlier about doing vegan bagels, this is probably a silly question, but I'm sure some people out there might be have to have gluten-free. Is it possible to make a gluten-free bagel?
You know, for a while people were asking, and listen, I'm very educated on health to people. My daughter is highly allergic to nuts. So a lot of people come and say, you have nuts and this, and I'm very aware of these things. And when it comes to gluten, you got to be aware of the disease celiac. So, if you have celiac, if your bagel touches anything that had wheat before, then literally your intestines could twist and you could die.
Yeah.
I don't make my own gluten-free bagels, but because of the world and what it is, I want to make people feel normal and be okay that they can eat a bagel in my store. And I carry gluten-free bagels that I bring in from another source. I keep them semi-frozen, so when people come, if they do want them hot, I can put them on tin foil, I can put them in the oven, and they can feel normal that they're here eating with their friends.
it's nice.
But it's impossible. If any store says they make their own gluten-free and they're making other products there, it's a lie. They're not telling the truth. And they don't care about health with their people that they're serving. There's no way.
Yeah. So does anybody have a bagel that we haven't tried yet?
Boy, if I had thought about it ahead of time, I might have prepared a different one.
That's all right. We'll do the jalapeno cheddar another time, I guess, and the prosciutto for Mel, since y'all are hoarding them.
You need to tell what was his name, Rafi. You need to your roller guy. You need to tell him.
Yeah.
I mean, those bagels are huge.
They are.
Yeah.
I have a rye bagel. I don't know if anybody
Believe it
else
or not, a lot of people at times complain to me at times that my bagels tend to be small. In New York, a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon of making bagels extra big. And they proofed their bagels way, way too long. And it appears that they're these big bagels. And lately, a lot of New Yorkers will say my bagels are small. But recently, we were just named as one of the 50 best bagel stores in all of the United States by Food and Wine. And the one thing I was so blown away, the guy wrote and said, they are the proper size. And it put such a smile to my face.
Vindicated.
And then hearing you say they're so big, believe it or not, a lot of New York bagels, or the people that want to say they really make bagels, they're making them so, and most of them come from a way of making them through steam, not a gas-based oven. So a lot of bagel stores, what they do with the steam ovens, because you use less electric, you use less gas, is you cook your bagels on your rack. So you're cooking a whole rack at a time, and they steam bake their bagels. When they do it that way, one of the ways you do it that way is overproofing your bagel. And that's what makes the bagels bigger than what we feel are normal size.
Plus they expand.
How much bagel does
Yes.
one need anyway?
What's that?
How much bagel does one need anyway?
Lots and lots.
You
You
know?
know,
How
listen,
big
in this
could it
day and
be?
age,
need?
People think they're getting cheated or they want more for their money. Listen, retail is not an easy game to be in. And you got to really try to listen. I really look out for my workers, and I'm a big fan of my workers, and I stand behind my workers. And not that I don't take care of my customers. People can come in my store, and I'll hand little kids cookies. People buy a lot of food. I'll hand them free stuff. That's just who I am. You come here every day. Before a month is up, I'm going to buy you a coffee. It's just who I am every day. But I say this all the time. In the old days, the customer was always right. But today, I say it all the time. Google is right. It's a simple thing. We don't have to fight about it no more. Get your phone, and now we got the real answer. Google's right. But when people, especially during this pandemic, they come in here in fear sometimes, and they don't really have their sanity, and it comes down a lot of times on my workers. And listen, I have a lot of people from different countries that work here, and I don't stand for that shit. Tell you straight up. My workers work their ass off, and I'll let my customers know, don't abuse my workers. I always tell them all the time, this is America. I have the right to refuse you, and that is what is real. That you don't have the right to abuse us. And that's what most people think. They have the right to do whatever they want. No, they don't. I have the right to refuse you, and I can tell you to get out of my store if you're abusing my workers. And it does happen at times.
I can see you doing
people, please don't turn me into the bagel Nazi. I don't want to do that. But it's important for your workers. You know, this day and age, the cost of training a new worker is astronomical. And what it could do bad to your business during the time of training and them not knowing, and then actually finding that it is the right person that's here. It's astronomical. So you really gotta make your workers, and I tell them all the time, your main job is to make the next person better. That's the only requirement I have for you.
Scott says no bagels for you.
No bagels for you, exactly.
All right, so let's do this. Let's if Scott, if you got some time, do a little quick Q&A and start. I'm gonna go in order of the Brady Bunch deal here. So Mel, you get to go first. You'll have the floor, and then we'll go to Lizzie, PJ, blah 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 blah. So Mel, you got something?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to take a question from the chat room.
Okay.
Must be someone there local to you, Scott. It says, how would I get there on the MTA? Is there a subway stop or Long Island Railroad?
There's the Q47 comes this way, correct? Ask Lou. Ask Lewis what trip. But you're some, unfortunate. We're a two-stop zone, so there's not. We're really a neighborhood store. We're inside the neighborhood of Whitestone, so I'm not in like this super populated neighborhood like Flushing. So Flushing is kind of like a mecca area where a lot of trains come. And you would hop on what's called the 7 train, and you'd get off at Main Street, and then you'd want to hook up to a bus called the Q16. And that's how you would get here from any kind of train or bus.
Yeah. Okay, Michael Cohen, got your answer for you.
There you go. All right, Lizzie, you're up next. You got some questions for Scott, the expert?
Yeah, you are so passionate about bagels. I love it. I also love bagels. How did you get into doing this? Like, how did you get into the bagel business?
I've been at this store a little close to 8 years now. I've been associated with the store probably a good 20, 25 years. I've had so many businesses. And how I started getting associated business-wise, I had a garbage business. So I worked for a lot of publicly owned companies in the garbage industry when I was younger, and I would eat at this store, and I got very friendly with my partner, the owner, and I started picking up his garbage. So that's what started me getting involved in this store. And after a while, I also started a paper and supply company. So I was also doing his paper and supply stuff. And me and the owner would always talk about business, and we were both Cowboy fans. We were both Knick fans and Ranger fans and Yankee fans. So we had a lot of common ground, and we just saw eye to eye a lot. And we always had a handshake. If he ever wanted to sell the bagel store, I would have a shot at it. I was involved in another bagel store when I was a young kid of 15, 14 years old. My best friend's father owned the bagel store, and on Friday and Saturday night, I used to work in a bagel store. So it was always in my blood a little bit to be in the bagel business. And listen, there was not a Saturday or a Sunday in my life that I didn't eat a bagel. It's just, this particular store, I've told people all the time, in life, you like your props. You always like to brag to someone, I know the best spot, or I know this. And this bagel store, my whole life, has been one of my props. If I want to do something for somebody, or if I wanted to gift somebody something, I would always bring them a bag of bagels in my spreads. And then right away, you got to tell me where this place is, or what could I do for you? And that's how I always felt about this store. And now, 8 years ago, my partner came to me and basically wanted me to go into partnership because the store next to us became available and he wanted to expand. I just wasn't ready to do so at the time. 3 months later, he got approached by the company I was telling you earlier, Fresh Direct, and he could not get that done on his own. He told me about it and said, listen, go get the contract, go get the deal done, and we'll put partnership into this venture. At the time, like I said, I was doing paper supplies and plastic supplies, so I knew a lot about the packaging and what I needed to do about the packaging. Lord and behold, a month later, I got the deal done, and we became partners. Maybe about 3 or 4 months later, he asked me to start managing the store. And I would say about 2, 3 years later, the amount of business I've brought in and what I've done to the store has made me a partner. I did it the old-fashioned way. I didn't buy my way in. I earned it by working hard. That's how I became an owner.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. So, PJ, you are next.
Well, almost all the questions that I had that I was thinking about have been covered already. But
All right.
but I'll ask. And even because he mentioned sports, I was like, okay, so Shesterkin or Georgiev?
Say this again?
I said Shesterkin or Georgiev.
That one went over my head. Tell me.
You said you're a Rangers fan, so I was asking about the.
Oh, okay. See, I go back to Jockerman.
When I was a kid, when I was a kid, I wanted to be Eddie Jockerman.
There you go. You wanted to play. Me too. When I was a kid, we used to play hockey on roller skates in the streets. Sewer to sewer was basically your nets, and Jockerman.
Yep.
Was just a tremendous goalie back then.
My problem was I played more like Bunk Wilson.
Okay.
All right. So next up, we got Mr. Sultan. You have another question?
Well, go ahead.
There you go.
2 questions, actually. I have 2.
And then I got a question for you after you ask me mine.
All
Okay.
right.
So, number 1 is, you make cannolis?
Believe it or not, we do. So we,
What do you-
keep the shells, and we have, I have a head baker who will put any fresh cannoli cream in there for you anytime you want it. But I only sell the minis. I only sell minis.
Do you make Napoleons?
No, I don't make Napoleons.
All right. How about eclairs?
But if you love Napoleons, I'm going to tell you where to go to get one of the greatest Napoleons.
And what, Albert's?
No,
Or is
it's an Italian restaurant in Douglaston, Il Toscano.
Il
And they-
Toscano?
Il Toscano. And they got a great lobster dish, a great Italian restaurant, but their Napoleon, it's not more like the Boston cream-based one. It's
Right.
more of a whipped.
No, French. It has to be French cream.
Yes, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
You just made me realize that's what it is.
Yeah. And now I have one more question for you. Where do you go for pizza?
So you just asked me a real good question. Locally around here, there's 2 places I love, and I love this place called Freddy's, which makes great Sicilian. But above all, around here in Queens, we go to a place called Amore's.
Amore?
But if you want to know my favorite, Joe's is probably the best.
Is that in Flushing?
No, in Manhattan. That's off
Manhattan?
of it's off of 6th Avenue, off of Bleecker Street.
No, you ever
by
go to
the
Ruby?
Slice.
You ever go to Ruby Rosa?
Ruby Rosa, no.
Yeah.
Another one that is great is a company called DeFara.
Yeah,
You know,
the
from
Far in Brooklyn.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. We're about to explode some new project that's going to be a food collaboration. And again, if you close your eyes and you ask yourself, what are the 2 New York staple foods? You're going to say a bagel and pizza.
Right.
So what if the 2 number 1 forces behind the bagel and the pizza come together and make a mini frozen pizza? So
Sounds
that's
delicious.
a pizza bagel. That's
Okay.
what we're about to happen. Probably around July, September, somewhere August. We're going to announce to the world this project that we're working on right now.
Well, I'm glad I asked my question then.
Yeah, so you're going to love that, Chaz.
Okay.
DeFara is, to
DeFara's one of
me,
the best
is
pizzas, absolutely.
basically royalty.
Yeah,
when they came
DeFara-
to my store,
You
I
did.
was like on a cloud.
Oh man, the
I
old
was
guy.
on a cloud to have the presence of them and the workmanship that Dominic did
Yeah.
within his bagel store is
50 years at the same.
pizzeria. I mean, was unbelievable.
Yeah, 50 years at that same
Yep,
location.
yep.
50
1965, they came.
Same guy. Same
Yep.
guy.
Same
better than
guy
Helen-
made every pizza out of that oven. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Today his kids are running it, and his daughter is doing a lot of stuff outside of the box.
Yeah.
With Ghost Kitchens, and she's on Goldbelly also. But like I said, we're working together to put to the market this new collaboration.
Good. Congratulations. Good luck too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
Okay, I'm done.
And Chaz, when you come, I'll make you one.
You're gonna-
Thanks, Kasim.
No question about it. I'm coming. You're coming to the store.
Awesome.
I'll bring you some cannolis from Staten Island.
So now my
Take
one
the
question
gun.
to you,
I want
Chaz.
some cannolis.
Had you ever heard of a bass player called Jaco Pastorius?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a dear friend of mine.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Back in the 80s, okay.
Yeah.
When he was, after Weather Report,
Yeah.
and he was just on the cover of Rolling Stones when I met him.
Yeah.
He actually, I owned a taxi back then, and he hopped in my cab, and he had this Brazilian percussion player with him, and he started asking. He says, "Don't you know who this guy is? This is Jocko." And I'm like, I didn't really know who he was at the time. And he's like, "Well, we need you to do us a favor. We're going to go to a studio. I need you to pack up all the equipment and bring it up to 7th Avenue South." I'm sure you remember that jazz club.
Yeah, the jazz club right on 7th Avenue.
I took all of this equipment, and the Brazilian drummer sat on top, outside of my window, and was beating on top of my car to a Rolling Stone song as we went to 7th Avenue South. Now, when we get there, again, Jocko was just, he was an incredible person just to understand and know. Besides what an incredible bass player he was. He was so innovative, and he was so ahead of what was going on.
He changed everybody's opinion of that instrument.
Of the bass, 100%. So we get to the place. He goes, "Listen, here's $100." He says, "But I need you to go pick up my piano player. He's playing on Irving Place." He says, "The only problem is he's blind. You got to go inside and get him."
Oh, that's a great story.
I took him upstairs, and I ended up sitting the whole entire 2 sets with him, staying there overnight. And, unfortunately, Jocko was a tremendous drinker, and, his demons, ended up hurting him.
He wasn't a happy drunk.
No. A lot of times when he would play in the Village a lot, he played with Yarmer a lot. And I would come in, and there was this incredible power between us. Like, if he looked to me to save him, it was this. I had him many times when he was on his benders and grabbed him out of it. And a lot of times he had slept at my house, and I would always get him back into the things. It was an incredible experience that I had with him. And then again, he was beaten.
Oh no,
Scott!
I think his phone probably ran out of battery.
Maybe he'll pop back in.
He'll come back.
It looks like
we still have
in the weather report.
Well, we still have 3 people that want to ask questions, right? So
Kasim,
what was your favorite bagel? Go ahead, Pam. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, when he mentioned at the beginning of the show that he has a wall of fame there at the shop. So, Kasim, you're going to have to maybe take a headshot with you so you can get on the wall of fame.
I have a photo shoot next week. So.
That's great.
Take a bagel.
My new
Take a bagel, do one like this. And then
right there you go.
You got the best bagels.
Yeah, so I will definitely. Susie and I are going to definitely go there.
That's awesome.
Hey, here's a little Jocko Pistorius trivia.
Hey guys,
Willie actually said that he asked Jocko to join Utopia when Kasim was had left the band.
Who said that?
I'm back.
Hey Scott, what's up, man?
Willie said that
Willie didn't know. Willie didn't know.
Actually approached Jocko.
Yeah, Willie knew Jocko.
All right, I don't know where that's going.
Okay,
I'm lost on this. All right, so Scott.
Yeah,
we got you back, man.
But I
on your phone, I
can
can tell.
Back on my iPad, I'm back.
That's all right. We're good. We just got a few more questions.
And I'm going to be back live, right?
Okay. All right. So, Tom, what's this story again that you claim? Oh, wait, there he is. Never mind.
I'm back.
Yeah, Jocko Pistorius was friends with Willie Wilcox, and when Kasim Swing had a conversation with Jocko about joining Utopia to replace Kasim.
Really?
Scott, which one are you wanting?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would have been a fit. I mean, the styles are completely different, but yeah, I mean, it's the weird connection there between Kasim and Jocko.
Okay, well, Kasim disappeared, also can't tell us. Scott, it was my turn to ask you a question, so I got an easy one for you. I think. You ready? Can you handle it?
Tell Lewis.
Can you hear me? Oh, I guess not.
No.
I'm going to just switch my headphones so I can hear better now.
All right.
Cat, don't worry. I got these other ones.
All right.
Okay, we're good again.
Check one. Check one.
Yeah, now I got you again.
All right. So Scott,
Let me get these.
I've got a question for you. Ready? Maybe. Maybe not.
Okay. Sorry for the delay, guys.
That's all
Okay,
right.
I got you back now. Okay.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you guys.
Check one. Check one.
We're good.
All
We're
right.
good.
So Scott, it was my turn to ask a question. I've got one easy one for you, I think.
Okay.
And I don't think you've told us yet. What is your favorite bagel of all the kabillions that you have?
My favorite bagel, I have to say, is an everything. I love all the everything bagels. I love an egg everything is one of my favorite. The whole wheat everything is my favorite, and the everything bagel itself. I love fresh Nova. We probably go through over 300 pounds of Nova a week. And most people that eat Nova don't eat the Nova we cut here. They eat the packaged stuff that's cut pretty thicker. Sometimes people eat some good salmon from sushi. You'll get some nice thinly sliced stuff like that. But if anybody had the ability to order the Nova from us, they were very smart to do so.
All right. Good stuff. Okay. So let's do. Let's go with Carol D'Amico.
Cass's dog's trying to steal the show. Sorry.
What's that?
Cass's dog's trying to steal the show. I saw Pete's head.
Oh,
There
I
he
like
is.
that dog. That's good.
Oh, there it is. Let's get that dog in there real quick.
You see Charlie's dog?
Pete!
Oh, I want to kiss him.
Hi, Pete.
I bet Pete's got some bagels
Hi.
today.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to kiss his face. He's so cute.
He's probably had some bagels, I bet. No?
He can't. He's
Chasm
not
says
allowed
no.
to have bagels now.
Yeah, well. Chasm.
You're
You're on mute.
You're on mute, Chasm.
You're on mute.
Sorry, I
There
didn't mean to have Pete steal the show. Please. No.
It's all right. Did you say you don't give Pete bagels? No bite?
No,
You didn't get a
no,
bite
no,
of
no.
bagel?
No, even a little bit, it gets his stomach upset.
Yeah.
Hey, if Frosty were still awake, he'd be on my shoulder right now watching the show with us.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Word. All right. Carol,
Hi.
your
Okay,
turn to ask
so-
questions.
Well, really, it's all about why are you in New York and I'm in California? Because I need to eat everything in your store, not just the bagel. So you need to open something up here in Southern California.
Yeah. I love California. I actually have property out in California. But to open a business other than here, it would hurt my business here. So many people have approached me about opening up other stores or they have properties, but it's so difficult to leave one spot. You're going to lose business and then you got to make it up somewhere else. Expanding in your same place. I'm now working on expanding for the second time here. We just took more space. I'm putting in a second oven. We're putting in more refrigeration. We're making more space for rollers. So expanding your business, I'm all for. But when an owner's away, it's not so much the cats are going to play or the mice are going to play, but it's just not going to do the business it's supposed to be doing.
I get it. I figured. I'm so jealous because I can't.
I'm always open to hardworking people,
Yeah.
and if someone's able to do so, I'm never afraid to teach somebody or open the idea of franchising it some way or another. But again, I'm a very realistic person, and a lot of people come to me for business advice. And most of the times I give them this advice. I say, if I could save you $200,000, will you give me 50? And most people I tell, well, don't go into business. Write me my $50,000 check.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
it's not that easy. Business is not easy.
No, I know. And I know. I just was saying I'm jealous because I'm not there. And I can't eat all your food because it's all just
You can
based on
visit.
these bagels. It's like, oh my God, like everything in your place must be unbelievable. So I'm just jealous. I don't know. I don't know if John had a question or not.
No, I just wanted to thank you. It was just really outstanding job that you shared with us today. And I was born in Jamaica actually, and then lived in Queens Village before we moved out on the island. But I miss all of your kind of stores and things that try to be as good as your store when I came out here and in '84. So it's been, anytime I see it and get a taste of it, it's sort of like this Go Belly was a big deal to share on the internet and to come across it, to see the promotion, and then I see Queens, and I'm like, Utopia. I go, this is the one that we need on the show. So I just,
John's the one that found you, actually.
I clued in Carol
Told
and I
me.
said, share it with the team because this is a winner.
Share it with
And
the team.
it didn't let us down at all. Yeah.
Good stuff. Absolutely. Y'all should go to New York and check it out sometime. I know you will.
We're
Del
going
Mitchell's
to.
playing.
Yeah.
We're really close to the airports. We're only
There you go.
a 20-25 minute ride from Kennedy and literally a 15-minute ride from LaGuardia.
Right.
Yeah. Well, here's somebody that needs to write you a $50,000 check. Is trying to sell 600 bagels. I'm going to try to see if we
I
can
know.
get
You're
Max
almost
Headring
scared.
here.
You're almost scaring me away. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is my dog Kasim, by the way. So he decided he was going to all the bagels.
A little hot dog.
But,
I like it.
I one of these days, Cal, let me know what you thought of my bagels. But Scott, I was wondering. I know you said you don't like to give business advice, but I'd be honored if you would try some of mine. Yeah, I would love to. And I guess just kind of a technical question.
They were very, very good, Tom. They were really, really good bagels.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah, I do the whole thing. I do the boiling and everything. I grew up in a town that just had a lot of great bagels. A very
Now let me ask you this: where exactly are you?
I'm in a town called Albion, New York.
Albion, New York.
Between Rochester, New York.
Okay.
Yeah. So
now
the advantage is nobody is doing anything like this for miles from me.
Right.
Nobody.
So now, what was the technical questions you had?
It's not technical per se, but I'm just wondering what's the flavor of bagel gave you the biggest headache, like you just could never quite get it right. And then what's the one that you're the most proud of that's yours and yours alone?
Is it just me that's not hearing him?
Scott.
Yes.
Can hear you.
For some reason, I'm not hearing Tom too well.
We can't hear you either.
I think Tom's Wi-Fi is not very good.
Yeah.
I've been having.
I can tell you,
Tom too.
Scott. Can I hear you?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, something's wrong with your sound too, or somebody's causing problems.
I could hear everybody. I didn't hear Tom. I heard you, Doug.
Okay. Tom wanted to know if there's one bagel you're proud of that you took ownership of that nobody else really has, and what's the most difficult bagel that you made, like where you had a hard time getting it to where you wanted it?
I think I'm most proudest of my pina colada bagel. It's something that I totally created, and we also got mentioned in New York Magazine for it also. They said something about, it may sound crazy, but don't overlook it, even though their other bagels are tremendous. And it's the pina colada bagels that I basically came up with. And then what else you asked? And
what was the most difficult one for you to master? Like where you found, you couldn't
listen,
get it?
the rainbow bagel is always the hardest one to make because it's 7 doughs. You got to individually make all these things. We do a lot of kind of special little things. We do a twist. That's a really great bagel to use in dips. because you keep breaking them off and these little hooks come out of them and you're able to dip them nicely. It's not so much the type of bagel that becomes hard to make. And when you're saying make, you're talking about the rolling side of things, or you're talking about the baking side of things. As bagels start to age and weather starts getting involved in it, the bagel becomes harder to bake. And you really need, and I'm sure Tom will agree with these things, especially in the summertime. You leave your rack out too long and the bagels start to proof up too much. You have to understand temperatures of the water. You got to understand the temperatures of your bagels. And those things are, listen, I have about 5 or 6 bagel bakers, and they're all good bakers. Don't get me wrong. But nobody can compare to my baking. I just will be able to get a little bit better shine to them coming out of the oven. They're physically more rounded. My holes are more clearer. Again, it comes from the passion behind things, that oversees these problems you're saying, and the knowledge of doing it so much and understanding it. Again, I want to keep learning, or another guy wants to go home and see, get out of here, So that's really when I talk about hardness of making bagels. Every bagel, the rollers, it's basically a mix. So it's not so much that it's difficult to make or come up with. But baking sometimes can be difficult. There's some things that occur that end up being difficult. And again, you don't want to throw away product. If you throw away product, you're losing money. So you got to always work with what you're handed with too. Sometimes bagels aren't proof long enough before they get in the fridge. So they come out and they got too much water in them and they'll sink. So there's a lot of different things that could occur when you're baking, when it comes to when you say difficulties.
Somebody had asked in our chat room, you mentioned that you don't want to have bagels left over. Do y'all give some to like a food pantry or something if you have something you have to toss?
On that Worth It show that we were on, one of the things they showed was the Apostle Church. Apostle Church is on 55th and 10th Avenue. The gentleman feeds 5,000 people a day there. So at times I'll freeze bagels and put them in boxes and we'll ship them to them. I found that out during the show, and it's something I don't brag about. I don't need to tell people about. I do this out of the kindness of my heart. There are several food kitchens in my neighborhood that they know when they have the opportunity to come after hours, I'll just wrap up all the bagels and give them to them. A lot of my bagels I'm able to freeze and sell to Fresh Direct. We have 8 flavors, and one of the flavors is a mix. So 13 of my bagels I'm able to freeze at the end of the day, and we tend to bake more of them towards the end of the day to eliminate waste. Listen, 5 neighbors on my block are always happy. That's something I do all the time. I have like this little route when I come home that I drop bagels and ring bells. It's just the person I am, Everybody's a product of who they come from,
Yeah.
My grandparents, were in the Holocaust. So canned food was important to them. So it's what you remember and, what you take with you. I have a hard time throwing away my bagels at times, but yeah, at times I have to put them, at times people used to go through my garbage and look for my bagels. And it's not, it's
wow.
It's sad in a way, but I also didn't want people to hurt themselves going through garbage. So I try to, dispose of it in the garbage truck, because I'm afraid someone's going to go through it and cut themselves or something like that. But I like I said, I try to give away as much bagels as I can. My workers will take home bagels and stuff like that. So we try to do it that way. I've tried to work with food kitchens specifically, but they tend to not have enough service towards you. And you end up, holding it for them too much, and I don't have the space.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Scott, we've been using a lot of your time. We got one more person, and we did have the bird, but Frosty has disappeared. Veronica,
there he is.
There
the
he is.
bird's right
Frosty.
there.
He's over here.
There's
Did he get
Frosty.
bagel? Did he get some
Actually,
bagel?
he had a piece of bagel.
Perfect.
Oh,
And
yeah.
would like to know if you make sunflower bagels because he really likes
We
sunflowers.
we do make a sunflower flago, a flat bagel. It's the only thing we use sunflower on. But our multigrain bagel also has sunflower in it.
Yeah, he
So-
only gets whole wheat and nut.
But like, if you ever requested from me, I could put sunflowers on a pumpernickel or a plain bagel. We can do something special as long as I have the time enough to do so. I do things like that.
Custom bagel for Frosty.
What do you
the
think
bird.
about
But
that?
Frosty should like
Huh?
the sesame seeds, no?
Yeah.
Frosty likes all kinds of seeds. Yep.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's a
We got
beautiful
it.
bird.
Sometimes, yeah.
Humans, dogs, and birds have all been fed today.
My
Yes, they're
cat
not
was
hungry
helping
anymore.
herself too. My cat was
And the
over here
cat.
helping herself. Yeah.
The cat had bagel. Okay, so we have
Yeah.
four different pets.
4
plus
different
humans.
pets.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Too bad we don't
All right.
have Peanut here.
I know. My wife says I wish we had my little dog.
Oh yeah. Does your dog get bagels?
He's only 5 pounds.
He's a Malchi. He's a Mawa. I call him a Mawawa. She calls him a Malchi.
Wow.
So he's
Oh, hey,
he's
Chihuahua. Oh,
a Chihuahua and a
Timber.
Maltese mixture. He's only 5 pounds. He's the cutest little dog.
So cute.
Yeah, this guy's
You got a picture?
Chihuahua Jack Russell.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
he's
forgot
cute.
you had one too. Show us up, Tom. Let's see what you got there with your terrible.
Oh,
internet.
look, Kimber. Look who's
Yeah,
that.
that one.
Look at the
He's a
babies.
Chihuahua Jack
Yeah.
Russell.
Yeah.
He's not happy.
Beautiful.
All
He's so
All right.
cute.
Good stuff. Well, Scott, you've been with us over an hour and a half, so we're gonna. I know you got to get some sleep, man, and get back to work. But
There
we
you
appreciate
go.
all your time. It's been fantastic.
Scott,
Awesome.
thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Jasmine, I'm looking forward to meet you and get you up on my wall of fame. Right?
I'm coming. Give me a few weeks and I'll be there.
See,
It'll
this-
smell
this-
so
this is
good
little-
when you go in there.
That's little Peanut. I don't know if you can see Alan dog, but he's not.
So let me get you on the big
Oh
screen.
yeah.
Aw.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Aw. We all
that's
love
little-
our puppies so much. Yeah.
Little gremlin.
Can't live without our doggies, that's for sure.
All right, everybody. So you know where to go. Utopia Bagels of New York City. Gold Belly can ship to you. Fresh, somebody. Who is it?
Fresh Direct. Fresh Direct.
Fresh Direct can ship to you, or you can go to the store. Do you have more than one location or just one?
Just this one location right now.
Okay. All right. Very good. What do we got?
It's amazing how fresh these tasted.
They're delicious.
We got them today. We ordered them, I guess, day before yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday they were shipped out. Yeah.
So they were shipped out. So it literally was just overnight. Wow.
Yep.
And they were baked yesterday.
Yep, we make them same day. That's the beauty of Gold Belly. That's really, they are a great platform for what they do, and we have a great partnership with them. Their ability on their shipping rates are untouched. It's something I was never able to do, and it gives the listen. It's still not cheap. I know it's expensive, but it's still something that you can take pleasure and really do on a special occasion, or order enough and freeze them for a while with Gold Belly that they have these good rates. I would do it every once in a while before I was with Gold Belly, and a dozen bagels would run with the cost of bagels almost $90.
Wow.
So Gold Belly is doing a tremendous, value
Yeah,
and
we appreciate
savings
it.
for people.
Yeah. So instead of us doing an abrupt ending, why don't we do this real quick? Everybody tell us we'll go in order. What your favorite bagel was tonight. Mine was Pumpernickel. Tom, what was your favorite? Tom. Maybe Tom will answer us in 10 minutes with that internet modem.
Toss it between the blueberry.
The
blueberry and red velvet.
Warning.
So Tom likes blueberry. Lizzie, what do you like?
I think Probably the garlic.
Garlic.
Gotta go with the
Really?
garlic. Yeah, which I
How
ate
was
this
the-
afternoon. It was extra fresh.
Did you eat it with bacon cream cheese, or is that a no-no?
No, I didn't. I ate it while I was driving.
Oh.
Gotcha. Kasim, what was your favorite?
Pumpernickel, like you.
Yeah, excellent. PJ?
The pumpernickel was outstanding, but the everything was really over the top.
Okay, the everything bagel. It's got everything. Carol, what'd you like? Something sweet?
No, my favorite was the blueberry. But I didn't try the garlic, the everything, and the rye yet. So out of everything I tried, the blueberry was number one.
Okay, well, try the rest and report back.
I like the
Pumpernickel.
pumpernickel. Yeah, pumpernickel was the
Pumpernickel. That's 3 pumpernickel votes. Mel?
Pumpernickel.
Well, that's all. You didn't try your prosciutto, though, so nobody knows.
No.
Yeah, we didn't try that either yet, and we
that's
have one.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Come on. Veronica, what was your favorite?
No, it's a toss-up for me. The sweet and savory. It's the bialy, which was excellent.
was good.
This texture, and the cinnamon raisin, which was more traditional. But I think the bialy probably killed it for me.
That was good. Very different. I've never had one of those. All right. Well, thanks, Scott. We appreciate you. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks,
Utopia
Scott.
Bagels.
Thanks, everyone.
Kasim, see you Saturday.